Hey guys, I'm at the 4G World Show in Chicago. It's September 17th, last day of the show. Thought I'd give you guys that didn't have an opportunity to come to the show a chance to see the demo that we did for ExtendAir. The purpose of the demo is to compare the performance of an ExtendAir radio to best of breed 802.11n. We're not saying whose radio we've got, but basically we tested some and we got the best radio we could find, and we put that head-to-head against ExtendAir in a very fair test. So there's an RC5000 over here. We've got basically two ends of a link, so over here on the other end of the booth there's another RC5000. We're running these over coax underneath the carpet. We have a little management station on that end. And then the other 11N radios down in this closet. And then this closet you're looking at here, there's an 11N radio down there. And then all this gear up top here is to help us control the paths. You'll notice also over here there's a 5i radio that's being used as an interference source, and a smart bits tester and a computer running smart bits, so we can throw some throughput through the radio. So we're going to do basically a couple of different tests. One test is for showing you that we basically provide more throughput than they do over a longer range, and then more throughput than they do over a longer range with more interference injection into the path. And then we do another demo where we can drop our throughput to be equivalent to theirs and show that we can get even greater range and greater interference immunity. Just a reminder of what you see here. The EXalt radio is a 32 megahertz wide channel. To run at full speed it's running 64 QAM. To run at equivalent speed it's running 16 QAM. The 11N radio is a dual pole 20 megahertz channel. So they use about 40 megahertz of spectrum compared to our 32 megahertz of spectrum. And you have to have both poles up and running at the same time. If one pole fades, the radio basically drops the same as if both poles fade. So it's sort of polarization independent in that respect. We've set up the links with 66 dB of path loss. It just sort of makes the knobs turn out to be in the right positions for everything else. But all the cables have all been calibrated out, so everything's exactly the same on all three paths, so that we're perfectly fair. And we calibrated the output powers of the radio so that everybody comes into the system with the same effective power. Okay, so with that I'm going to conclude this part of the video and then move on to the first test and show you the results. Basically we're set up right now at 32 megahertz channel, mode 3, which gives us the most amount of throughput that this radio can get. And I'm going to move over to the other side and show you with the smart bits, and hopefully you can see this. What we've got is on the left we've got ExtendAir one direction and the other direction for an aggregate of 133 megabits per second. And then the 11N radio running about 52 megabits in each direction for a very impressive 104 megabits. Actually, I should say that when we tested this originally, we thought that was actually a pretty darn good number for 11N. It's the best number we saw.
And the over-the-air data rate is 130 megabits.
Oh yeah, to get that kind of throughput, they have a lot of overhead, so thank you. What we're going to do is kind of going to be sort of jerky on the video, so I apologize for that, but I'm going to show you. We're going to basically fade our path using this attenuator, fade the 11N path using either or both of these attenuators, and we'll fade them up until we see degradation, fade them at equal value until we see degradation to one of the radios, and of course it'll be the 11N that fails first. So maybe you can help me turn the knobs and read off the numbers, and we'll look up at the screen here and kind of see what happens.
I've started with 11N 10 dB.
Okay, so we put 10 dB of attenuation in the 11N path, and it's still running about 103, which is pretty close to full speed. We'll look for it to really, take a hit. Okay, right there,
dB.
buddy. Yeah, so 13 dB down, we saw a big hit to throughput. Okay, let's try ours at 13 dB real quick. See what, we'll dial up 13 dB of attenuation on our radio and see what happens to our throughput. Okay, it hasn't moved at all, so let's keep going, a couple more maybe.
14.
Okay, a little bit of a hit at 14. 15. It's still okay, 15 is where it crashed. So we're a couple of dB better in this condition to where we both took a measurable hit to throughput. Let's try another 2 dB on all paths if you can. Let's just see what happens to them and what happens to us.
15 dB on one path, extend
11N.
11N, and we're already at 15.
Okay.
In ExtendAir.
So when we're both 15 dB down, the 11N radio has completely crashed. Our radio is still running at pretty respectable 100 and something megabits, actually pretty close to what it was running to start with. And the 11N radio every once in a while gets a little bit of a connection, throws a little throughput through it, but basically can't maintain that connection. Alright, now we've got all the paths back up, no attenuation in the paths. We will bring some interference rejection in. And this is a EX5i, we're just using it as an interference source. It's summed into the radio pass with this attenuator. So we have this attenuator fully attenuated to start with, then we're going to reduce the attenuation, therefore increase the amount of interference power that's coming into the system, and then see what it does to the system. So would you mind running that? Okay, thank you. So once again, we'll increase interference until we see a change to throughput on either one of these radios.
That's 10 dB right there.
Okay, see a little bit on the 11N.
13 dB.
Still kind of okay. Okay, it's starting to, right there.
14.
Okay, totally trashed it. Okay, so 14 dB of extra interference power. And then let's see what happens. Keep going until we have an impact here, and I'll let you know when it starts. Okay, right there. So what was that?
18 dB.
So we're maybe 4 dB or so better at interference rejection in this same condition. And notice with that 4 dB, they've completely crashed. We're still running actually at a higher speed than they were running when they were running full speed. We're running a little lower speed than our full speed rate, but still running very respectable 100 plus megabits per second. So why don't you take that down a little bit more?
Yeah. Take it all the way down.
Okay, interference really slammed us.
Now it's gone.
Interference went away. We're back, and they back a few seconds later. Okay, that's the end of the first demo. We're going to move on to the last one. So hang on tight. Okay, this is the last round, and what we did is we changed the configuration of the ExtendAir radio to mode 2 instead of mode 3. So this is now running 16 QAM, which is going to give us a lower throughput than our maximum throughput, but a very close throughput to the amount that they get at their maximum speed. So let's come back over here and see. Sorry about the funky video. If we can see that we're running about 108. They're running at their 103, 104 number. So they're pretty close to one another, as close as we can get. And the intention of this is to just show you that at the same speed now, we get even more benefit than we got in the last round where we were giving more throughput instead. So let's try all those tricks again.
Okay.
We're going to turn up attenuation on 11N and see where it crashes. It should be the same place it crashed before.
So I'm at 13 now.
Okay, 13. Give us one more.
14.
Right there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, absolutely.
14.
Yeah.
Okay, now ExtendAir.
ExtendAir.
That's 14.
Okay.
15.
All right.
18.
Keep going.
20.
Keep going.
21.
Still nothing.
22.
Still nothing.
23.
Okay, right there.
90.
So, but difference between 23 and what was the number over here?
14.
14. We have 9 dB better system gain for path length. So this is either 9 dB more fade margin or 9 dB more distance, which is at least double, maybe double and a half the distance under the same fade margin conditions. So
let's try the recovery.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to crash both lengths, bring them down,
okay,
and bring them back up.
3, 2, 1, go.
We're back up. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Waiting, waiting, waiting. There we go, there we go. Okay, all the way up. So several seconds difference in recovery time. All right, let's try interference again. So now we're back up to unfaded. We're gonna run some interference.
I'm gonna start at 13.
Okay.
13.
Oh, right there.
Is
okay, you're already 11N is hurting.
I'm gonna go 15.
15. We're still okay.
18.
11N is dying. 11N is dead.
20.
They're still good.
22.
Still good.
23.
Still good.
24.
Still fine. Oh, okay, a little bit. One more.
25.
Okay, that's us. Okay, and how many more dB till we crash?
25. That's 27. 28. 29. 30. 31,
hanging in there. Wow. Okay.
32.
I hope everybody's catching this.
33. 34. 35. 36. Maybe I should just jump.
Just go ahead. Yeah.
That's 40.
Still hanging in.
45.
Okay, that was enough.
Yeah,
wow.
40.
Okay, so we were again about the same 9-10-ish dB better to the first point where we had an impact on performance for interference, but a good 20-25 dB better when the interference was high. Our system was still up and running at a reduced throughput. Yeah, this is the attenuator that runs the interference. So we've crashed the links at this point.
So let's try recovery.
Why don't we go ahead and recover?
Ready?
Looks
3,
like we're
2, 1.
We're actually already recovering with maximum power. We're still kind of hanging in there, but we're up and running for a while. Count off the seconds, 4, 5, 6 seconds, maybe 11N still isn't back up. Come on, there we go. Okay, so once again, just incredible recovery time on our side and several seconds of outage when the interference is gone on the 11N side. So that's the end of the demo. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I think it all makes sense. Everybody knows basically carrier class versus best effort. We can go a lot longer distances, survive interference and fading a lot better, or just give you overall better system gain and better system availability under equal conditions and more raw throughput. So there you go, folks.